For my garbage person of the week, I have someone who we have talked about, but I have updates. It is this individual. That's a nice little picture of Mike Pompeo. Why is he doing that pose? No one knows. But his next pose will be in the trash, and I would like to explain why. It isn't just for all of the reasons concerning the firing of Steve Linick last Friday that we've already talked about. The possibility that he was investigating the emergency for Saudi, the Saudi arms deal and all that. It's not just the Madison dinners for 500 people that were apparently done for his personal political interests. It's not just for using the aid and everything. It's for new stuff too. So we have updates to some of those as well as new information. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo pushed State Department officials to find a way to justify that emergency declaration that he'd already decided to implement in order to fast-track the $8 billion in arms sales. So it wasn't just that they did it, it's that he then tried to get his underlings to find some rationale for why they had to do it, and now they're starting to talk. With one State Department official telling CNN they seem to have a game plan and it had to be justified. And that person said that they had communicated to the State Department's Office of the Inspector General during an interview late last year as part of the investigation into Pompeo's move to fast-track the sale. So they were very uncomfortable about this entire thing and communicated it to the person who theoretically might have been fired as a result of that. But it's not just that. It's not just the private jets, and it's not just the Madison dinners. It's other special secretive trips that he took on our dollar for his political ambitions. He apparently made a secretive trip in January to a Florida retirement enclave populated by prominent Republican donors while on the tail end of a diplomatic trip to Latin America, leading one to wonder if that trip was even necessary or if it was a pretext to go to Florida. He held the same kind of quiet meeting in December with Republican donors over a hotel dinner on a State Department trip to London. And last October, he huddled with Charles G. Koch, the Republican billionaire and a longtime supporter of his, while on an official visit to Kansas. That trip was made aboard a government aircraft. In each of these instances, Mr. Pompeo did not put the visits on his public schedule. We sort of understand why. Because the office is for him.
Yeah, I used to like Mike Pompeo, and now I don't.
Yeah.
I used to think he was a swell guy, and now it seems like he's an evil, evil man who's only... And God, he makes me so sick. He makes me so sick because of, like, the way he just stares people down and lies. Or stares people down and knows, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah. Yeah, look, it's one thing for him, like many politicians, and especially we've seen a lot of these cabinet level positions under Trump, believing that the office is there for them to just spend the money and use the personnel for errands and stuff like that, whatever they want, just personally. It would be one thing if he was also having a positive impact on our diplomatic position, helping to rein in Trump, that sort of thing. He doesn't seem to be doing that. Trump just pulled out of another treaty, one that was hoping to forestall future wars. So did he talk to Trump about that? He didn't seem to have much of an effect if we're just pulling out of treaties at a rate of like one every 6 months at this point. And so he's in a position of power. We should be able to have minimal expectations. He can't even meet those because of a combination of personal corruption, personal ambition, and deference to the will of Donald Trump.
I don't think it's deference to the will of Donald Trump. I think he's playing Donald Trump in a way to benefit himself. The deference is not, but I think that's something that can be used against him to have him viewed in a more negative light by Donald Trump. Like he is using the position Trump gave him to enrich himself and work counter to what Trump does because he wants to raise his own profile in the future. He's looking past Trump. He's looking past the Trump White House. He is shoring up right now. The things he's doing now, he should be doing now. If he believed in Donald Trump, if he believed he was going to do everything that would help Donald Trump get reelected, he wouldn't be making Kansas Senate run financing trips right now. He is looking to exit. He is looking to use Trump as that little thing in the pole vault, the little thing you stick your pole in and launch yourself up. So basically,
it's probably a technical term.
Yeah, Mike Pompeo is sticking his pole right in Trump's little nook, if you know what I mean, and trying to launch himself onto this soft pad.
Okay, third garbage person is Brett. Brett, get in there. Okay, so that's my garbage person. But as always, we close out the week by asking you who you think best exemplified live in a garbage life. And so we want to tell you what we got there. This is always available at the, usually on Thursdays, on the TDR YouTube community tab. Angel puts up a poll, and 13,000 plus of you responded to this. And let's see what we've got. Mike Pompeo got 13%, Bill Barr at 3%, Moscow Mitch at 6%, and Karen Spreadin' Karen at 13%. So, oh, and I also wanted to give a shout out to user eCrens, who suggested Karen Spreading Karen 19 for the community garbage people. We do appreciate that. So, my pick and Brett's pick tied for your pick of the week. That's never
amazing.
Happened before.
That is amazing.
I know. And that is the glory and power of not having Trump on for 1 week. Because otherwise he would have... All of the above, by the way, probably means Trump. But anyway, he'll be back next week. Don't worry. But anyway, thank you everybody who voted. 13,000 of you. That's a lot. For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.